Afternoon. I'm in one of my favourite places in all of Ireland, and I've quite a few of them, but this is the Derryveagh Mountains, and I'm heading into the Poison Glen, which you can see beautifully framed behind me there. So it's a Friday. I was in work this morning and I've taken this afternoon off because there's a rare quiet settled weekend. There's been hardly any of those for the past maybe 6, 7, 8 weeks. It's just been storms and gales and rain. So this is an opportunity that's just too good to miss. So I'm heading up into the mountains here, and I'm just going to walk and walk until it's dark and get a spot to camp. So really looking forward to it. So the ground so far has been wet, but not too wet. I have put my leather boots on because I knew it's always wet up here. It's never bone dry, but it's been surprisingly good going. You can see where there has been quite a bit of rain here, and you can see where the water has run off and sort of flattened the grass down, but that's thankfully must have been a wee while ago. And there's loads of frog spawn in the wee pools of water, and sort of frogs sort of in the water as well, so that's really cool to see, and a sign of spring. And even feeling it today, because out of the breeze with a wee bit of sunshine, it's absolutely lovely weather for walking. So where am I going? I'm heading right up to the head of the valley there, and there's like a wee notch, so I'm gonna clamber up to the top there, and that will get me up to follow along the line of hills. There's an old deer fence here, so well in disuse, just falling apart, but even on the way up there, you can see this area is just crisscrossed with deer trails, and usually when you're here you would see at least a small group of deer. So for me, this is partly why I climb mountains, to get views like that. And if you work hard at it, it can pay off. So you can see down over the two locks now, and you can see out to the coast and the islands there off the Donegal coast in the Atlantic. Stunning stuff. And I'm nearly at the top. I'm up. Wow, that's the Poison Glen down there, and you can see over to Derryveagh Mountain. Just absolutely stunning. Nobody else about at all this Friday evening. It is cold, and I think it's going to get even colder, and it's not far away from getting dark. So I need to push on a wee bit and get a spot to bivvy down. So I'm on the summit of Crockfadda Mountain, and it's 485 metres. It's about 7 o'clock, so it is pretty much dark, and I'm probably going to bivvy down somewhere up here. Now there is a biting northerly breeze, so I want to get somewhere that just has a wee bit of shelter, and I should be able to get somewhere, and there's lots of wee pools of water up here, so that'll allow me to do my cooking. And I'm back on the noodles and tuna after trying that packet stuff, which is about £6 a pop. So back to good old, especially in these really tight times with high inflation and everything costing an absolute fortune. So cheap and cheerful it is. But yeah, get something to eat, get a nice warm drink, and get sorted for hopefully a beautiful night full of stars. There's a wee slither of a crescent moon, so I think it's going to be a fantastic night. I do think it's going to be very cold, and we'll see in the morning just how cold it was. So I'm all set up. I've had something to eat. This is where I'm at here. So I get a nice wee level bit of rock with a wee bit of shelter, and I think it will do the job. So it's about 8 o'clock. The sky's clear, it's absolutely bursting with stars, absolutely beautiful. Pitch black here, no light pollution. So I've just to get a cup of tea, and then I'm going to get in and hopefully get nice and cozy. I can feel the cold on my toes and my fingers just sitting about for a while. So hopefully I'll get a good night's sleep, and I'll let you know in the morning just how good it was. Right, good night. Good morning. It's about 7:30 and it is cold. So just a lovely clear sky last night. Just fantastic, just stars and stars. I actually seen a shooting star, which was really cool. And just laying the bivy bag, you're just able to sort of stare straight up at the stars. Just really easy. But it froze solid last night, and even with my 2 pair of socks, I think the toes were struggling a wee bit. And everything is solid here. All the wee pools of water have turned to ice, and you can see just the bit of frost on the bivy bag. Just I don't know, that's just where maybe it was sort of breathing through. But it's really cool with the sun out, or it's starting to warm up actually. So it's going to be an absolutely amazing day. So I suppose getting sorted and getting away to make the most of it. So here's a different view of the Poison Glen. So that's pretty much how I walked in yesterday evening, and then I went away up there and round to get up here onto the hills. But absolutely fantastic looking. I'm all packed up. This is where I bivvied last night, just on the bare rock. You can see the wee bit of shelter this piece of rock here gave me from the northerly breeze. And as always, I've left this place pretty much as I found it. So if you came across this, you shouldn't know that anyone had actually been here at all. So as always, leave no trace. I'm down off Crockfadda where I camped last night, and this is Lochatrieve Big, and there's a Lochatrieve Little on down that way a bit. But as I say, it was really froze solid this morning, and the sun, this sort of early March sun, is really getting to work, and it's throwing stuff out really fast. And a good guide I use is my fingers. so can I feel my fingers or not? And I've actually taken my gloves off because it just is so warm, and part of that is because there's hardly a breath of air as well. So if I had had a bit more time yesterday, I probably would have considered coming down here to camp. It's a lovely spot down here as well, and I probably would have been a bit more sheltered than I had up on the top. But I was happy enough with last night as well. And I just passed a small herd of 5 deer. That's sort of a surprise, and they were fairly quick and cleared off. Okay, I'm quite excited. Not just by the beautiful day and the beautiful scenery, but when I was down the bottom there, I spied what I thought was a cave, and there is a cave. Okay, it's not exactly anything spectacular, and it's a bit rough inside, so I don't think you could sort of spend the night in here, but it's quite cool. It's quite small, but it's quite cool to find something like this, even though you've been walking this area for years and years and you've never seen it before, so I thought that was really cool. So last weekend there was quite a bit of snow, especially out here in the northwest of Ireland. And this is, I take it, some of the remnants of that. So just when you get up, probably about 550 metres now, you can see this is just where some of the snow was drifted, and it's still clinging on a wee bit. Not sure how much longer it will cling on though. So what about this for a view? That's Loch Maum down there. You can see over past the cliffs over that way, that's over to Errigal. And that's where I'm going over there, that's Sleevesnacht. So that's going to be quite a climb to come up. And this wee spot here, I actually bivied here maybe 5 or 6 years ago, just in this wee bit of rock. And you can see what a view it was. I think it was quite misty that time, but the views came on, man. So just still a stunning day, absolutely beautiful. So that's Dunlewey Mountain behind me, and it's just shy of 600 metres, and I spent a wee bit of time up there just exploring. There's a couple of nice wee locks up there if anyone wanted to maybe wild camp up the top, and I did show you that bivvy spot that I'd used before, right with the views down over Loch Maum, and that's Loch Sleevesnacht. just below Sleevesnacht itself. A pretty wet area down there, but again, loads of these lochs up in the Derryveagh, and really fantastic sources of fresh water for drinking or for cooking. And not surprising with the amount of rainfall that this place gets. It's not like the Mournes out away in east of Northern Ireland. It's sort of completely different character, I think, but absolutely fantastic range of hills. This is the highest point of my trip. This is Sleevesnacht, and it's 678 metres, and it's a really cool viewpoint. So I'm getting views away down to southwest Donegal and away down to Sligo, and down south there is the Bluestack Mountains. I can see away to the east into Northern Ireland, into the Sperrin Mountains, and away up north to Inishowen and the rest of the Derryveagh Mountains. Absolutely stunning day. And again, when you get a northerly breeze and that clear air, it really makes a difference from the usual haze and rubbishy views that we get here sometimes. It is still pretty cool, though that's balanced out whenever the sun does come out. The clouds bubbled up a wee bit, maybe even with that wee bit of heat. But yeah, it's downhill all the way from here for me. There's a steep drop off the western side of Sleevesnacht, and then I usually follow the river down back to the starting point, and hopefully that's not too wet. Still haven't met another person, and this is a Saturday, so yesterday afternoon and evening on Friday didn't meet anyone, and I thought I probably would have met somebody today, but not a person, you know. And it just goes to show you again these amazing upland areas of Donegal, where you can come on a Saturday and have the place to yourself. You wouldn't get it anywhere else. There's no way you would. So I haven't been magically transported to the seaside out of the mountains. I'm at the shores of Loch Glenveagh here in the Derryveagh, and isn't this beach absolutely stunning? Look at that. And there's the loch. Man, this is a place that you could probably stay at for a few days camping. Now I do have some bad news. It's the 5th of March today, and I've started to see some midges. Not many, but that's the start of it. So if you were going to come to somewhere like this, you would probably need to do it now, because in a few weeks' time you'd just be eaten alive. Absolutely. But it's a beautiful spot, and I'm going to take a wee bit of time just to chill out here before following the river, the Devlin River, all the way back to the start. This is the Devlin River, and it comes from the Loch Glenveagh, just that, with the lovely sandy beach. So there's quite a big drop off here, maybe about 100 feet before the river heads down along the valley, and I'll be following it all the way back. So I'm just about back. That walk down along the Devlin River Valley was just unrelentingly wet, just slug, slop. And my knee did disappear, or my leg disappeared in up to the knee at one stage. But I think my feet are actually dry, so the leather boots I'm wearing I've done pretty well actually. So that's probably the first time I've been out in maybe 7-8 weeks because of the run of really stormy, windy weather we've had, and I've really felt it. So I've actually a blister on my toe, and I hardly ever get blisters, and I'm making my carry in the pack. So it just goes to show you that getting out regularly, doing this stuff really does pay off, and there's a break, then you've work to do to sort of catch up. But absolutely fantastic couple of days, a brilliant weather window, calm, blue skies, really cold at night. My sleep was slightly uncomfortable last night, just I must have been down to maybe minus, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, because everything was frozen solid. I saw some more deer on the way down here. So all in all, fantastic couple of days, well worth the journey to Donegal, as it always is. So brilliant stuff.